So,
Take it away.
everyone. Thank you for having us today. We would like to introduce Move It Together, the first accessible second-hand furniture marketplace. Does it? Yeah. No. Perfect. So let's talk about the problem. Our story began in a similar way. Both as students without cars, we had little opportunity to make our living space more sustainable. And even today, there's no current solution. So we asked people in our market research on their thoughts on buying and selling secondhand furniture and why they don't use current solutions. And most of them answered that the process is too complicated due to communication, transportation, and also security concerns. And in the end, they decided not to buy secondhand furniture. And the lack of accessibility and also the problem of the frustration leads us to the main problem, that is that 90% of furniture waste is incinerated or landfilled. And to address this issue, we are launching an accessible online platform for consumers and businesses to resell furniture and buy secondhand furniture. And people wish for better filter options, transaction security, community features, and transportation opportunities. And we are designing Move It Together to be easy to use and user-friendly so that we can attract more buyers and sellers. And in the end, we are hoping to reduce the furniture waste in landfills up to 30%. So our value proposition, we divided into two parts, C2C and B2B. On one hand, we already launched our first MVP. We are offering the matchmaking between buyers and sellers. And for the B2B side, we have clients such as carpenters, upcyclers, declutterers, and offices. And we are also solving the chicken and egg problems through higher supply. Let's take a look at our market. As you can see, our market size is massive. The European furniture market is 96 billion euros. And even if we take a closer look to our first target market, which is the second-hand furniture market in Germany, we can see a high potential for Move It Together. Our competition is out there, and they are all focusing on one specific part of the user journey, but we as Move It Together, we want to have the whole user experience and user journey. So our USPs are on one hand, the transportation, the secure transactions, and also the user-friendly platform.
Okay, and now you're probably asking yourself why now is the perfect time for a secondhand marketplace for furniture. We can actually see a super high potential by the secondhand boom right now, which is also mainly due to the younger generations. And in fact, we can see the secondhand market growing by 127% by 2026, which is massive. And we can also see in other geographic regions as well as other industries, multiple players jumping on this trend and very successfully jumping on this trend. So how do we actually want to enter the market? We first set up our social media pages, and this was highly successful for us, and we were able to scale up the number of followers super fast and also attract a lot of customers through this. As a next step, we are planning to roll out our larger marketing campaign while having a large focus on online marketing, but also some offline marketing strategies, such as hosting local events where we will invite experts, as Merle mentioned, on our platform to educate potential users about how to upcycle, recycle, and also resell furniture. And last but not least, next to all of that, we are developing and launching our mobile application, including various features, also some AI visualization tools to just create an even better user experience in the end. And let's talk financials. How are we planning on making money? We basically have 4 different revenue streams. The first 2 being transaction-based, where we will take a 5% fee of the buying price from the buyers and a 7% fee from the sellers. And we expect the average shopping cart to be around 250 euros, which we are still currently validating with our MVP. We're also taking a 30% fee of each transportation fee. And here we expect the average transportation fee within cities to be around 80 euros. And last but not least, we have our B2B revenue streams where we will work with a commission-based model, and we expect the average commission per deal to be around 170 euros. With all of that in mind, we project the number of transactions for 2024 to be around 40,000 on our platform. So now we want to proudly present to you what we've reached so far. Since launching our MVP mid-February, we managed to attract over 200 C2C customers in major cities in Germany, and also our first ones over in the Netherlands right now. We also managed to gain over 400 euros in revenue and onboarded our first 5 local businesses. And we also managed to land our 4 major B2B deals with some co-working spaces, offices, but also one TV set now, which just shows the super high potential out there. And what lies ahead for Move It Together? Last quarter, we were able to get into the Circular Together incubator, focused on the circular economy of Impact Hub Berlin. We also started offering our full service. This quarter is all about scaling our customer base. And then next quarter, we're hoping to have our first hirings, and from there, then roll out our marketing campaign, as well as launch our first version of our mobile application. And then by Q2 of 2024, we're hoping to reach 15,000 transactions on our platform. Okay, who's behind Move It Together? My co-founder Merle is the creative part of our team. She studied business communication and has ever since worked in well-known startups on their marketing and branding strategies. I myself did my master's in entrepreneurship in the Netherlands, and my expertise lies in the fields of operations and product, and more specifically sustainable processes. And our team is complemented by 2 amazing advisors with a very impressive track record. And this is our ask. We're looking for an investment of 300,000 euros to scale our operations even further.
Awesome. Thanks for presenting, guys, or girls, I think I should say. It's incredibly interesting what you're doing, but at the same time, I definitely have some questions and some worries. And the first is, you're planning to get to 40,000 transactions next year. How do you plan to do that? That's a lot of transactions. Especially for high value furniture, I assume.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we can already see that the market is out there. I mean, actually, currently, we have to kind of stop going out there and talking to people, because we get so many customers on a daily basis that it's almost too much for us to handle at that point. I mean, since launching our MVP, we see that the market is super large out there, ranging from individual consumers to businesses and also local businesses. And this is something that we've reached organically, and we can see that when putting some money in online marketing campaigns, we can reach a way broader audience even. So this is something that is definitely feasible for us with how it's growing so far. And also for the transaction, it's obviously also in mind that people buy and sell multiple items through us, because we can also already see that, for example, people who are moving to a different flat and they want to get rid of all of their furniture, then it's sometimes the case that one person sells like 5 to 10 items through us within a week, for example.
So can you walk me through the process? You mentioned transportation fees. How exactly does it look like? I need to sell a bed, a couch or something, or I need to buy. What does the process look like?
So right now we are offering the matchmaking service. So that's kind of our MVP. So people can fill in a form on our website, either to buy or to sell something. And then once that is done, we contact them and we actually help them to take the pictures of the item when you're selling it. When you're buying it, then obviously that's not a need. But then after that, we are looking for the perfect buyer or the perfect item if you're looking for something. And then we contact you again. We send you different options. So let's take the buyer side first. So if you're buying something, we send you different options, and then you can decide what you want. And then we offer the transportation. So obviously there is a self-pickup option if you have a car, if you want to pick it up. But we can see that a lot of people, especially within cities, actually do not have the means to pick up furniture easily. A lot of them don't even have a driver's license or even a car. So we actually then offer to drive that item to you. And how we do that is we actually talk to way different partners and different companies who offer within city transportations, also some local businesses. But we figured out that this is oftentimes super expensive for the consumer itself. And then it's like, I don't know, you pay 80 euros for a used couch and then you pay 200 euros for the transportation, even though it's right next door. So how we're solving that is that we're currently working with car sharing companies, and the plan is to have working students driving the trucks and then transporting the items. And we're also planning to work with kind of a booking system here, because the good thing about furniture is that a lot of people do not need it this afternoon. It's okay if they have it like next Wednesday. So we can really work with a booking system and smart route planning on that.
So there's a lot of companies that wanted to make delivery companies for food, for furniture, for just about everything. And they went and raised a ton of money and realized that it was a race to the bottom. It's incredibly challenging and logistically complex. Why not just use somebody?
It's not something that we do not consider right now. I mean, it's still, we have some partners that we are talking to still. And also when it comes to different cities, we're right now trying to test out various different things. So this is something that's still on the table, definitely. However, right now for the end consumer, we figured out that the best way to do it is really working with car sharing companies and hiring people, because most items, like a truck, fits a lot of different items, and we can really save costs here and also save CO2 emissions through really making the route smarter and loading the trucks smarter. So that's our goal here. But I mean, this is still something that we're definitely open to talk to different partners as well.
Okay. What do you foresee being the most often purchased, or the kind of, what's your 80-20 on actual products?
So I mean furniture items themselves, right?
Furniture items themselves.
Yeah. We were actually quite surprised about this, because we were assuming that most items would be like solid items, like a table or chairs or something. But we can see that actually the items that are sold and also bought the most are couches. So I think couches are like right now the best seller for us. And then I think the rest is mainly probably right now tables, chairs, and like, things that are in daily use, I would say.
So I just got a furniture pull-out couch. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and it was a lot of hassle, but it cost me 1 franc. So how do you deal with the fact that a lot of this stuff is things that people just want to get rid of and get it the heck out of their house?
Yeah.
How do you handle the pricing? How do you suggest that if you want to make a marketplace work?
It's good that you're asking that, because we can see this as a huge issue. That was also something that came up in like the very beginning of our customer discovery. We can see that not only with furniture, but I think in every secondhand space right now, that people are really driving down the prices because they want to get rid of it as fast as they can. So sometimes, I don't know, you can get a designer couch on Facebook Marketplace for free, basically. But this is something where we really, as a platform, also want to offer the seller the opportunity to get rid of it tomorrow, but still get a price for it. And I think this is something that we're solving through different things. For example, right now, people are a lot of the times unsure what price to take. So we also put into our MVP that we can help them set the price. So that's something that we're offering, and also something that we are trying to improve, especially once we have a more like technical solution out there. We're trying to really use smart scans to scan like what is the price that they can take, because obviously it also needs to be realistic, because we can also see the other side where people charge way too much for a secondhand item and they have unrealistic expectations. So really working with this pricing suggestion is how we want to solve that.
But the pricing suggestion only works if the consumers are willing to pay it. And if the consumers can get something for basically free, or they could come to your platform.
Yeah. I mean, for that, we have our features that kind of make it way easier for them to buy through us. And of course, there will always be the case that if your neighbor like gives you your couch for the couch for free, or gives it to you on Facebook Marketplace, that's something that we cannot avoid and that we do not want to avoid. But we can already see that, especially for these larger items, people are actually willing to pay. However, the trend is or was going more towards that, you know, secondhand items are dirty, maybe not the same quality or something. So this was really something that's in the mind of a lot of people. And we are trying to, through offering like higher quality images, offering higher quality descriptions, materials, and everything on there. And also working with experts on that, like our upcyclers, we are really trying to make it more attractive overall, like, because we think that this is a huge issue in the world right now, that people are very hesitant still to engage in secondhand trading. So we really want to solve that through making our platform, very user-friendly and attractive.
Yeah, there's the trust factor. And then there's also you show up and then the couch is already gone or the person doesn't show.
Yeah,
so there are certainly things that you can do there. You're doing B2B and C2C. Yeah. Why? Talk about the challenges of building each of those and why you decided to do both.
So actually it was a coincidence, to be honest. So we started with C2C, then we had our first customers, we started gaining more customers, and we had a customer who bought a couch through us and wanted to have it transported. So we transported it to him. It was in the very beginning in February, I think. And it was actually an office space. And then we were quite surprised. And he was like, my office is looking for more furniture. Can I buy that through you? And we said, yes, of course. And that was the point where we really like dug deeper into that. And we were like, okay, that makes total sense. Of course, offices and businesses need furniture as well. They don't have the resources, time, and it's very costly to buy new furniture all the time. And to put people on looking like on Facebook Marketplace or something, that's impossible for businesses. So we saw the potential there, and we reached out to different businesses, mainly startups right now here in Berlin, because we know that they have to move a lot and they have to buy new furniture and they want to furnish their spaces more sustainably. But as I said, they don't have the resources for that. So we see that there's a lot of interest there, and we also managed to land our first deals here with co-working spaces as well as offices. This is something that we are definitely planning on also focusing on in the future. We're also currently working with a team of interior designers on one of the co-working spaces, which is a great partnership as well, because we can really offer the full package here and the company doesn't have to worry about anything. And then on the other hand, we also have our local businesses where we work with upcyclers and declutterers and carpenters and all these people working on furniture, because we can really see them being the solution to our chicken and egg problem and really offering the supply and helping people to engage in this whole circle. For example, right now we have a buyer, a B2B buyer who's buying something through us, and we have an upcycler actually upcycling like very old, very damaged furniture for them, and it looks super cool and is in the office now. So we can really create the circular economy effect here through creating those synergies between the different parties.
I feel like you have two different segments though. So one is the home and one is the business or the office. Mm-hmm. And are you worried at all about separating your focuses? Because if an office needs table or chairs, or a home needs a couch or a kitchen table, two different buyers, two different sellers, same marketplace, challenging. Is this the marketplace for office furniture, or is this the marketplace to make my home more comfy without spending a bunch?
So we are separating those two. So we will have two different, like basically services. We are trying to create the linkages. So we can also see that a lot of offices need like one couch right now. You know, it's not always like, okay, we need, 40 desks every single week, but that they're looking for one item. So there's obviously also the chance to connect them to individuals. But in general, we are trying to separate those two. So we are already doing that right now. For our B2B customers, we are offering a different approach than our C2C customers, and not like directly connecting those two parties together.
How do you grow and scale?
Mm-hmm. As of right now, as I said, we see a lot of customers coming in organically, which is amazing. But we also want to test out some online marketing campaigns now, because we see this as a very important channel for us. We can already tell from like social media and all the smaller marketing things we're doing right now, that the topics of interior, DIY, and just sustainable living are a super hot topic right now. We through doing that, we can already see a lot of people coming in through our Instagram channel, our Facebook groups and everything. We also created a Facebook group, which is also scalable to different cities, of course. But yeah, we want to actually go more into the online marketing and really, putting campaigns out there and getting the people on our platform instead of things they're using right now. Also engaging people who are mainly not trading secondhand furniture right now. I think then it won't be a problem for us to scale our customer base, to be honest, with how it's looking like right now.
If they want to pay for it, that's Turab just joined. I'll add him in as well. He's with Closed Loop Partners. He had a little bit of a delay in joining. But Turab, do you want to give a quick overview of yourself, Closed Loop, what you guys focus on, and then maybe a couple of questions for Antonia? It looks like you know what's happening now.
Hi team, how y'all doing? First of all, nice to meet everyone. Actually, Matt, I think if it's okay, I would love to stay off of video. I'm under the weather today, and wanted to take some time to come spend, come spend time with y'all. Really nice to meet you, team, Antonia and team. So just for reference, I left Closed Loop Partners towards the end of last year, but that's an investment firm based in New York focused on investing in the circular economy. And came across a business similar to yours. So I'll just kind of add some commentary from what we saw in that case. Mm-hmm. I think what we saw, just first of all, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I do not know your business at that level at all. I'm providing one anecdote from something I've seen. But I think some of the questions that came up in that case were, in C2C, I think the challenge is, first of all, competition, like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and those kinds of networks that are already out there, and competing against them. I think we saw the companies that were the company at least that was trying to do that had some challenges around fending off that competition and the marketing spend required to fend off that competition. So that's just something I wanted to bring up on the C2C side. The other challenge that throughout the circular economy space, especially with C2C, is logistics costs, the cost of transportation, especially when you're talking about heavy objects like couches and stuff like that. It gets costly, and so to trying to be able to mitigate those costs and control those costs tends to be a little bit of a challenge. And so in that case, at least we saw more potential, and I think we saw that company gearing their business more towards B2B. And what did seem interesting about that was, I think they were providing not just the furniture and the items, but also I would say they were a little bit of a design firm as well. So they were essentially helping design the workspaces or provide an all-in solution on how to design a sustainable workspace. And that was the model that seemed to have gotten the most traction for them, is providing this kind of holistic service beyond just being able to kind of provide the furniture items themselves. So I just wanted to share some of those thoughts with you that I came across in that experience, and happy to answer any other questions either here or offline.
Thank you so much. Yeah, yes. Super helpful to get those insights, and definitely something that we face as well. So yeah, thank you for that.
What's the big weakness on your team?
I think as of right now, I mean, we are in Germany, so probably legal topics and like regulations wise is probably the biggest weakness as of right now. Yeah, something that we are also planning to hire someone because Germany is very highly regulated, as we probably all know, when it comes to anything, basically, especially in like marketplaces and C2C and transaction things. So that's probably the biggest weakness as of right now.
And with this 300,000, how much runway does that buy you, and how long will it take you to get to the point where you are not printing money, but at least making some money, so you have some revenue coming in?
I think it will probably give us around a year of runway. And same question probably that came up before. We we are thinking of raising this round for a year because we believe that a lot can change within this year, and we are still pretty early stage, even though we got a lot of traction already. So really like focusing on the different models that we have right now and seeing, okay, how can we create the synergies? You know, what makes sense and what doesn't, is why we are focusing on a year runway right now. Generally speaking, we are already making revenue, and I think we are planning to break even by end of 2024, so something like that.
What's the upside of only racing for a year?
The upside is probably really, I mean, as of right now, when it comes to the cap table, I think the upside here is that we are more sure in like what directions are the most valuable for us in a year, and like really reorganizing them.
And what are the downsides?
Gives us less runway.
So the downside is you die.
Yeah.
I would say take more money. I would say be real careful because you don't know what's going to happen. It could be a lot better. It could be a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
That's my feedback to everybody listening now is I don't think things are getting easier for a bit. I think they're getting harder for a bit. Get as much money as you can so you can get to a point where you have something instead of trying to optimize for valuation, because, well, in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, we'll be further along and we can have a better valuation, assuming you're still here in that amount of time. And then you also need to be able to raise. Just my 2 cents. I'm not sure what you're seeing, Torab.